And joining me now is Republican Senator Lamar Alexander, Republican of Tennessee, who is introducing a bill that would push the government to release weekly updates on Obamacare figures. Senator, thanks for joining us. I have to say,
thank you, Jake.
It doesn't on its face sound unreasonable, weekly updates, but given how much trouble the website is having, is it not possible that this would create an additional burden that would make it even more difficult for healthcare.gov to get up and running?
This is pretty basic information. I mean, McDonald's 20 years ago could tell you how many hamburgers it was selling every day. All we want to know in the internet age is how many people tried to get on, how many were successful, what was their zip code, what was their level of insurance. Governors need to know this because if you sign up for Obamacare, it affects Medicaid in virtually every state. We need to know it in the Congress because we appropriate the money. The American people need to know it. So why not do it?
You have 760,000 adults in Tennessee who do not have health insurance and over 100,000 children without health insurance. Do you see a functioning healthcare.gov website as a possible way to help these individuals out?
Well, I think it could. I mean, many of those would be available for what we call TennCare. That's our Medicaid program. But at least Tennesseans need to know what the cost will be. Now, let's think about this. The federal law says you've got to sign up and buy insurance by December 15, not very far away, to be in place by January 1. And you may be fined by the IRS if you don't for trying to enroll on a website that doesn't work. So we need to know if that's the case. Already one Democratic senator has said it's going so badly, perhaps they should delay the implementation of the individual mandate.
Senator,
I think that's a good idea.
You do think it's a good idea to delay the individual mandate. How long do you think it should be delayed?
Well, I'd repeal it and replace it, but at least delay it a year and let the process work. That'd also give us a chance to have a referendum in 2014 on whether we ought to make dramatic changes in the health care law, which I think we should.
And our Sanjay Gupta interviewed Health and Human Services Secretary Kathleen Sebelius. I want to play part of that, get your reaction.
Okay.
Do you know when he first knew that there was a problem?
Well, I think it became clear fairly early on, the first couple of days. That
So not before that, though? Not before
No,
October 1st? There was no concern at that point, either in the White House or at HHS?
I think that we talked about having testing going forward.
Do you think President Obama and or Kathleen Sebelius really didn't know about the problems with the website before October 1st?
I have no idea, but they should have. I mean, the president himself seems embarrassed by it. And if he's not going to resign over this mess, why, he ought to decide who should.
You have not yet joined the calls from some of your colleagues that Kathleen Sebelius resign. If not her, who do you think should be held accountable?
Well, I'm not the president. You know, it's the president's job to do it. You know, when Hyman Rickover was head of the nuclear Navy, he told the captain, if anything goes wrong with the ship or the reactor, your career's over. The president should say that to somebody in his administration and get somebody in charge who knows how to make a website work. Senator Barrasso has said there are 5,000 websites with more traffic than this that are working just fine. So this was a big screw up, and it's the president's job either to take the responsibility himself or to put somebody else in charge.
Lastly, sir, you're up for re-election. Are you worried at all that this current environment, the shutdown, the fight over Obamacare in a state where you have over 800,000 people who are uninsured, the split in the Republican Party with members of the Tea Party, Senator Cruz, all of this combined could cost you your Senate seat in a tough Republican primary?
Look, I respect the voters of Tennessee a lot. I take nothing for granted. I'm in pretty good shape in terms of the polls. I'm in pretty good shape in terms of fundraising. And when I go out and talk to people, they listen. And if they don't agree with me, they at least give me credit for trying to do my job. I want us to be the take over the government party, not to shut down the government party. That means we need to elect 6 more Republican senators, a president in a couple of years, then we can really change Obamacare.
Senator Lamar Alexander, Republican of Tennessee, thanks so much, and enjoy your time back at home in that beautiful state of yours.
Thank you very, very much.